Pisces, thanks for coming in. This is going to be the guided tarot spread. It can help us find the missing links. And welcome. Welcome everyone to another episode. And this reading will be guided by the Biddy Tarot book. In order to get the true meaning of the message, Pisces. And by exploring that core energy, it's going to be very beneficial to you, body, mind, and spirit. So while this reading is deep and complex, I think if you watch the entire reading, you will see and hear a lot of things that are going to be beneficial to a Pisces. Here's our situation, personality, wanting to ask a lot of questions. This is like we talking about how we can get someone, how we can get someone else to do what we want done, and how can we get them without them knowing it was us. Gotta be quiet about it. How can we get them without them knowing it was us? Could be something you're keeping to yourself. You could actually be having a conversation. I feel like there's almost two people involved in that. There. So taking a look at the recent past. Ten of Swords in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. With that Six of Pentacles. Chronic, ongoing, and it can also mean Urban Dictionary. Look it up what slang is for the chronic. This has turned to be bad luck for someone else here, so they tell. Like on a spiritual level, someone's being questioned. Or they question the chronic here. The Six of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles with the Devil in reverse. Currently, they think you need to change your lifestyle. No, you think they need to change their lifestyle. Somehow being almost coerced into this bad situation, this bad housing situation, while we see happy, safe roof over Pisces' head, currently to wanting, praying for bad neighbors to leave, giving in to your short-term needs and desires at the expenses of others. So while you are not just wanting, but you are literally praying to God for these bad neighbors to leave, you are actually giving in to your own short-term needs and desires at the expense of others. And the door is getting ready to close there. Because when in fact Pisces has no proof where the chronic is coming from, and without even having that proof, gonna continue to fixate on that. Like, this isn't good for you. But who are you to tell your neighbors? Wait, better yet, why do you think that you get to pick your neighbors? With the Six of Swords in reverse, Spirit says, leave it. This is the near future. Either leave the neighborhood leave it alone, or just leave these people alone. But as we see in the cards, Pisces will be reluctant to do that. You're going to be fixated on it because it's, your little disturbances. There's not supposed to be other people in the world. Again, you can leave, but you have no right to worry about what other people do. So let's get that bonus card before we clarify. And we get the Ace of Lotus, which is the Ace of Cups. This says, you are a good person, but have compassion for other human beings. Please. All right, I'm getting ready to clarify. That's a good time for you to tap like, follow, subscribe. The Ten of Swords, Page of Swords. We're a good person. We just can't, we just can't have that. This chronic thing, situation stuff is no bueno. Ace of Pentacles, but in reverse. Okay. Could be a chronic illness. Mainly just an ongoing bad thing that we felt, I don't know, should I say something about this or should I not? Should I do something about it or should I not? There was a point in the recent past when you questioned yourself. Is this my business? Should I make this my own business or not? And I think that, you just kind of run along and you just kept running into it. That's why it's chronic. It's like every time you open the door, every time, there's something about the door, the hallway, and that's usually where people in housing situations, the common area, are going to hear and see things, unless you're right there inside of their apartment or their house. But, in that common area, should I mind my own business of the things that I hear and that I see? At one point, you did question yourself that. So, Spirit says, we are acknowledging that, yes, you are a good person. At least you did that. But, again, we probably just need to be more realistic. Having been more realistic, here we see that Ten of Pentacles and that Six of Swords. You are willing to defend that peace and quiet, that nice, safe roof that you've got over your head. And we saw that that was at the expense of others. So how is whatever they're doing affecting, is it going to cause you to lose your home? That would be pretty severe. If not, then it's not that severe. Ace of Wands, but in reverse. Again, we keep getting all of these one time, too many time. And you thought about minding your own business, but you didn't. And it gets us all excited, all riled up. We're very easily excited about it. And it's probably because it's so close to home. No matter what it is, anybody's going to get excited, when it gets close to home. But, clarification of that current energy, just lack of direction. Like, you don't know what you're doing to other people. You don't know that you're hurting other people by not minding your own business, or you would like to move away from that neighborhood in that area, but you just don't know where to go. Housing market sucks. There's really nowhere to go. So a whole lot of lack of direction of how to take that energy when you get excited and upset about it because you think it's affecting your lifestyle, your safe, quiet, peace and quiet, and the safety of your happiness in your home. But in the end, in the near future, we see with that Ace of Lotus down here to have compassion for other human beings. Because it's sitting right underneath the devil. And so while you are a good person, if you are trying to be a good person, have compassion for other human beings. Remove yourself from it. Seven of Cups invites you to see the world through optimistic eyes. And look for the good, not the bad. Turn the other cheek like Jesus would, I would say, especially if you're trying to be a good person. You got to stay in line with your own personal values, yes. You know, and if you're a tattletale, then that is just who you are. But you can't constantly pick through other people's business or walk through that hallway and hear and see things and know that you're right. Because remember, down there, you have no proof. You don't even really know the whole story, which we're going to clarify that as well. But real quick, what about that bad luck in the Six of Pentacles? What about that bad luck in that Six of Pentacles for Pisces? You know, we talk it over. We share a lot. We want to be able to share everything. And we just can't. But in the recent past, the unknown, we thought we could. We want to. It's just not the world that we know. You don't know everybody's business unless they make it your business, unless it is your of your interest. You know what I mean? So while this is a really major deal, this is judgment, but in reverse. Not judging. Don't be judgmental. And again, in the past, I don't think you were. I think you were seeing it, hearing it. You're like, you know, and maybe something's changed in you, something's changed in them, something's changed in the environment, you know, and you're now, not only are you being judgmental, but you're wanting to do something with somebody else to remove the problem and not get caught, and you don't want them to know that it's you. But in the past, we tried not to be judgmental. There was actually a point when Pisces could say, well, I don't know. Maybe somebody else told you in the recent past, you know, you don't know them, you don't know what they're going through. It's better just to mind your own business, you know. You don't want to make enemies, stuff like that. Depending on the type of person that you are, and if you've lived a more sheltered lifestyle, and maybe things were just more peaceful and quiet in the past over the years where you've been, again, somebody's schooling you on the unknowns, telling you some things that you don't know, and maybe some things that you needed to hear. So let's clarify that. Down here, you know, being fixated on it. It's not right. You know, you look at this like, oh, they're a loser. They kicked a hole in the door. Okay. Well, they pay rent there. I'm sure that their landlord will notice it eventually and they will pay for it. So, unless you are the landowner, the property manager, or someone's attorney, what right do you have to tell someone how they can or cannot live their life? What they can do with their own property in the privacy of their own home? Big lesson to be learned here. Who is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, so, yeah. Going to continue to be very pessimistic, looking at it like it's just, you know, it's ruining the neighborhood. It's dirtying up the yard. You know, it's putting toxins in my air because they smoke cigarettes. Okay, you know what? That is none of your fucking business. So if somebody's doing this to you, let me know down below in the comment box. Otherwise, this is what some Pisces in this glorious world that we live in today are probably dealing with. If this was an intuitive reading, I would say, look at this card. You're on this side, they're on that side. Leave it alone. But it is the guided tarot reading. It's guided by the Biddy Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and reference this card so that way we get a more accurate, true meaning of the card. And the bridge is the moon. Trust in your gut. And yeah, what you probably think is chronic is. But your feelings about that don't matter. And why it doesn't matter is because you ain't the one. I mean, my God, like, judge and jury. If you're trying to be a good person, it says in the Bible, don't weed the garden, let God handle everybody. You're supposed to grow in the garden, you right up along with them. We all growing in the same garden. God's going to handle those people. I mean, are you a snitch? Are you a cop? You know, like, what's up? Is it illegal? Even then, you got to prove that in a court of law. If you think somebody's beating their wife and you're hearing a lot of ruckus, you don't know what's really going on behind closed doors. And until you see it, you know, God is saying you need to leave it be. Subconscious. Minding your own business. Subconscious. Book says, don't take things at face value. We do in the near future see you digging a little bit deeper because you're going to be fixated on it and you're not going to leave it alone. You're going to dig underneath the surface. And you know, I mean, like I said, if something seems off, then it probably is. But you need to be careful that you don't get swept up in it. I mean, we already saw y'all wanting to get, you know, this taken care of, get somebody else to do the dirty work, but you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be held responsible. You don't want them to know. Some of the times you just obsess about it, and I mean, unless you just have way too much extra time on your hands, and then you find out that it's not even who you thought it was. It's not even what you thought it was. I just don't think it's a good time for Pisces to be worrying about all of that. If it's affecting you emotionally, and it's really truly causing you anxiety, depression, you already have a mental health concern, you may also, you know, have your own dirty little secrets. How would you like everybody else to know those about you? Spirit says, show compassion for other human beings. please remember that other people have feelings too.